General Assembly, January 24 February 7, 2021. To all members of the Focolare movement in the world, a navigation map for the next 6 years. Courage to embrace the world. Listening to the cry of humanity, of creation, and of the new generations. I dream of a church which can be seen by the world as being more beautiful, more holy, more charismatic, more family. I dream of her being a beacon for humanity. And I dream of seeing in her a holiness of the people never seen before. I dream that the growing awareness of living as one family which we see today in the consciences of millions of people will be practiced ever more widely across the globe, so that in the third millennium it will be a general, universal reality. That is why I dream that wars, conflicts, hunger, and the thousand other evils in the world will diminish. I dream of an ever more intense dialogue of love among the churches. I dream of a more living and active dialogue among people of the most varied religions linked to one another by love. I dream that the various cultures in the world will mutually enrich each other. I dream of gospel-based relationships not only among individuals but also among groups, movements, religious and lay associations, among peoples and among states, so that it becomes logical to love other people's countries as our own, and logical to tend towards a universal communion of goods, at least as a goal to reach. So I dream of already witnessing new heavens and a new earth as far as this is possible here on earth. I am dreaming of many things, but we have a millennium to see them come true. Forward. Declaration for a new springtime of the work of Mary. 1. We look at the world and commit ourselves to seek out those who suffer, those who are excluded, starting with the people we ourselves have made suffer or have excluded, personally or as a movement. We commit ourselves to be in dialogue with everyone, to let ourselves be touched by the other, preferably by those who we feel are the most different from us. We want to approach each person to listen to them in depth, to welcome their suffering and learn from them, building genuine and quality relationships together. 2. We commit ourselves to strengthening what is already in place for the prevention of all forms of abuse, whether physical, sexual, of power or of conscience. We ask the victims for forgiveness and assure our full support, acknowledging with deep sorrow all those situations in which we have not been able to protect them. We commit ourselves to further promote a culture of prevention and of promotion of each person's well-being, with appropriate training and transparent communication. 3. We want to scrutinize the signs of God's presence in the events we are experiencing as humanity, in its tribulations, and also in the wounds present in the movement itself. We want to resume our way of life with new hope as a people born of the gospel. Now is the time to set out again on the journey with God among us, to dare to do new things with creativity and passion, being more faithful than ever to God's dream, that they may all be one. 4. This document is offered by the Assembly to all those who belong to the Focolare movement in the world. It is the beginning of a shared map that can help us to navigate through the storms, challenges, and opportunities of the next 6 years. It is the fruit of thousands of conversations that have taken place in preparing the General Assembly and during the Assembly itself. This map will be strengthened, improved, and made more effective by the participation of all who belong to the movement as they navigate in the direction God is asking them to take in the coming years. 5. This document is divided into 2 parts. First, we find listening to the cries of humanity, the planet, and the new generations, which point out the direction of travel to contemporize the Charism in the coming years. This is followed by 3 practical application priorities: going forth to be close to others, being together to act, being prepared for the ut omnes, which we hope will help guide the 360 incarnation of the Charism in the coming years. 6. The procedure, methodology, and the experience itself that gave rise to this work are explained in more detail at the end of the document. Note 1. I scrutinizing the horizon together, a Charism that is contemporized. 7. We believe that today the contemporization of the Charism of unity takes place if we allow ourselves to be challenged by reality in order to love it. To this end, we propose to immerse ourselves in the Charism and in its light by listening to God who speaks to us in the cry of humanity, in the cry of the planet and in the cry of the new generations. The mystical experience of Paradise 49, as well as the co-founding experience of Chiara, Foucault, and Chiaretto and others, seem more than ever a living heritage to be deepened, a sign of the memory that becomes present and that we want to rekindle constantly in our lives. From this root, we feel called to wisely activate processes of listening and interpreting the signs of prophecy scattered today within the chaos and darkness that we encounter every day. IA listening to the cry of humanity. 8. The ongoing pandemic has exposed the contradictions of a world which, although it seems strongly connected, is in fact seriously unbalanced both in the relationships between peoples and cultures and among social groups and between individuals. Faced with this scenario, we want as Work of Mary to respond to the cry of Jesus forsaken, which echoes once more in today's world in all those who, in whatever way, are silenced, suffer, are abused, excluded and seek their dignity. 9. Throughout the world we are faced with situations of growing social inequality. In some regions the most serious problem is linked to migratory flows, in others to violence, in yet others to political or religious intolerance, to various forms of discrimination or to an exacerbated individualism. This is why we wish to practice more the community discernment that arises from the life of the Charism, to learn to scrutinize and listen together to the cry of humanity and embrace it both globally and locally. In order to carry out this discernment, we believe it is necessary to have outlooks capable of contemplation in the midst of the city, in the streets, in the workplaces, in homes, schools, parliaments, everywhere. IB listening to the cry of the earth. 10. The scale of the pandemic crisis is also linked to the fact that everything is related, the loss of biodiversity, deforestation, etc. We know that it is the poorest and most disadvantaged who suffer the greatest consequences of the cry of the earth. We believe that a conversion to integral ecology requires us to review our lifestyles both personally and as a movement, to develop a critical consciousness regarding the use of material goods, to be creative in generating new practices for the care of creation, to denounce the causes that threaten the planet, our common home, to explore our use of the digital world, accepting its development and orienting it towards universal fraternity. 11. For this reason, we are committed to reviewing the ecological sustainability of our buildings and activities by implementing changes that go towards zero impact. We want to dedicate ourselves to the formation of an environmental consciousness that leads to more sustainable lifestyles, and we aspire to be, in interdependence with others, models of an integral ecology. Through effective tools such as the Action Pathways for a United World, we will network with other organizations to achieve environmental goals such as the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, promoted by the UN. I see listening to the cry of the new generations. 12. Young people, teens, and children are challenging us and building the world with their dreams, their incisive questions and their voices raised against injustice and unsustainability. It is a cry that urges us to avoid catastrophic climate change, to overcome inequality and embrace diversity with inclusion instead of exclusion. We believe that it is by being together, across generations in the movement, that we will best hear these cries. Therefore, we want to appreciate the antennae of the new generations and welcome their prophetic vision as we face the challenges of today. We realize that we need to change the way we look at children, teens, and young people, no longer as objects of our attention but as active subjects, leaders, and co-builders of the movement and of those relationships that educate everyone. In this approach, we are committed to ensuring that our decision-making processes in the movement become increasingly intergenerational. 2. The courage to embrace humanity. 360 Incarnation of the Charism. 13. We want to make our own the words said by Palmira Frizera, one of Chiara's first companions during the opening days of this General Assembly. I feel that to reach ut omnes, which is Chiara's ultimate goal, we must now have the courage to embrace humanity. This is what incarnation means for me. We feel challenged to enter decisively and radically into a phase of the movement projected extensively on the incarnation of universal fraternity. We realize that it is more than ever necessary to be immersed in society in order to promote a complete people's dialogue with all the people and the world of today. For this reason, following in the footsteps of the path initiated by the last General Assembly held in 2014, we want to take a decisive step forward, considering the following 3 practical priorities to apply over the next 6 years. 2a. Going forth to be close to the other. 14 We want to rekindle decisively and throughout the entire movement a passion for Jesus forsaken who lives in the lonely, the excluded and the poor so as to speed up the coming of Ut Omnes. Just as in the early days of the movement in Trent we want to have a preferential and concrete love for Jesus forsaken that is also translated into a decisive change of direction toward all those who suffer. We believe we need a conscious movement of closeness that allows us to reduce the distance from those who remain on the margins of society. We want to get out of our comfort zone to draw close to those who do not count, who live in disadvantaged conditions or who suffer systemically. As in the first focolar, we would like to repeat in many different ways the experience around our tables of a focolarina and a poor person, a focolarina and a poor person. 15 We are all called to understand what is the most compelling face of Jesus forsaken in our community, our city, our country, or our region. For this reason we believe it is important to ask ourselves, how can we concretely embrace that local face of Jesus forsaken? What are the systemic causes we want to eliminate and the strategic actions we can and should take to help overcome exclusions and promote the full development of each person? How can we work and collaborate with others to ensure a life of dignity for every human being and, in particular, our neighbors? 16 We believe that the time has come to respond to these questions as a single movement opera una, first of all in each territory, making the option for the excluded, the poor and the discriminated against become our way of life. It must start from a personal commitment with a simple lifestyle, taking care of at least one lonely person with whom to share the difficult journey of existence, taking into account the specific characteristics the charism brings, to the point of generating reciprocity. 17 We want the movement to also be a workshop on life in society where we can learn this model of fellowship. In this process we believe it is important to work together with others, with churches and organizations, with the new generations in the lead, to eradicate the systemic causes of all forms of inequality. For this reason, we want to enhance, support and network our social works, relaunching the worldwide communion of goods. 2b Being together to act. 18 The momentous epoch-making dramatic situations that we are witnessing helplessly in many parts of the world cannot be faced alone. The complexity of the world's suffering requires responses that are synergistic in their application. We believe, at this stage of incarnation of the charism, that the time has come to put the life of the gospel back at the center as well as our capacity for action rooted in it. We are increasingly aware that to have an impact on society is not an optional extra but a duty for all to exercise in the most diverse forms and according to the needs of different cultures and places. Therefore, it is not a question of promoting activism or of running after isolated actions but of fostering a culture of commitment that enables collaboration, broadens the view, weaves networks, and creates culture. It is necessary to invest more resources in everything that fosters what can be concretely achieved from the perspective of a united world. It will be necessary, therefore. 19 To work in networks. We believe it is necessary to work in living networks, full of relationships of trust and to collaborate with anyone engaged for the same aims and thus give broader, more effective, and complete attention to problems. We intend to strengthen the United World Project and the pathways as already existing and preferential spaces for dialogue, meeting, and collaboration with people and organizations outside the movement. We are convinced that this will enhance collaboration and the significance of networking among existing actions/projects. 20 Revitalize the areas of social action. There is no sphere of human activity, from economic to social, from political to ecclesial, from cultural to the field of information, that cannot be revitalized by living cells that breathe new life into them. Therefore, we also commit ourselves to relaunch the centrality of the environmental cells where different people inspired by the charism of unity naturally find themselves and are able to offer concrete and effective responses. In addition, as a movement we want to give new impetus to the broad-based movements through which we work for universal fraternity. 21 Reinvigorate concrete and social works as tools for a united world. The social works and the various international cooperation agencies and cultural and information organizations that have sprung up within the movement, which are a response to the wounds of humanity, should be encouraged and supported everywhere to continue their irreplaceable contribution, open to the new and able to invest in the professional skills needed today. 22 Reflection on the governance of the movement. We believe that it is necessary to rethink the style and practice of governance of the movement to ensure that people and processes are able to respond to the cry of pain of humanity. We propose to study the designs of Chiara, Chiaretto, and Foucault in their dynamic of relationships, to learn with them the ideal roots of governance. We believe that it is equally important to improve transparency and communication in decision-making processes, providing for continuous and effective evaluation and verification of the various processes, e.g. the new setup, and involving all generations in the decision-making process. 23. Act and evaluate. Finally, we understand that any community discernment cannot end with action. It is necessary always to evaluate what we have done together, to analyze and verify the impact of our actions so as to learn from our eventual successes and our mistakes. The complexity of the situation we face locally or globally and the speed of change in our societies require great flexibility so that we do not remain stationary for too long in our houses or groups. We want to always be open to the surprises of the Holy Spirit. 2c. Being prepared for the ut omnes. 24. We believe that the purpose of all our formative activities is to contribute to the unity and fellowship of the entire human family. We want to prepare ourselves to be able to dialogue constantly and dynamically with the most concrete challenges that the embrace of Jesus forsaken in humanity poses to us. In particular, we believe that we must consider as privileged pathways. 25. Communitarian discernment. To make discernment in the light of the charism, with Jesus in the midst, a characteristic element of Chiara's people, which is a lifestyle for all members and for all contexts, both in daily life and in important decisions, such as those of governance. To do this, activate concrete initiatives for formation in communitarian Trinitarian discernment, to define its methodology, including moments of verification and without neglecting the formation of personal conscience. We must also be prepared to accept times of conflict or disagreement, which should be considered as an opportunity for discernment and positive growth. 26. A priority focus on the family. As the work of Mary, we are called to be a family. For this reason, the family must be at the center of our priorities, first of all within the movement, taking care of the family as the first cell of society and, for this reason, looking at it and supporting it as a whole and according to the specific characteristics of each one of its members. We want to promote and enhance the family itself in its being and acting as a social and political subject. We believe it is fundamental to be trained to offer adequate and constant accompaniment in every phase of life to help in the integral growth of the person, being receptive to all sufferings, preferring wounded families, with a constant openness to dialogue and respect for diversity. We believe that we must allow ourselves to be questioned by the new challenges and conditions of the family, without prejudice or fear. In a word, we want to help to fulfill God's plan for each family and every single person. Here too, formation and study are essential, with developments to be supported, such as the creation of the Family Study Center at the Sophia University Institute with all its youth components. 27. Global Educational Compact. In the wake of the Global Compact on Education, promoted by Pope Francis, we consider it important to continue the work done by our cultural agencies, by the Sophia University Institute, by the branches and little towns, to make more explicit the model and educational pathway that springs from the charism and is based on the many programs and experiences that have been carried out in this field in recent years, benefiting the whole movement, the Church, and society. 28. Formation and accompaniment. We consider the accompaniment and integral formation, head, hands, heart, of the new generations in the charism of unity as a key responsibility of the whole community. Do nothing without intergenerationality, to facilitate an encounter with God in the spirituality of unity. We are committed to providing enculturated formation processes accessible to all, bearing in mind the needs of each stage, with regular evaluations. We will create more effective networks between formatters and accompaniers to support them in their role and to facilitate ongoing and regular formation, giving priority to making together with the new generations an experience of incarnation of the charism in order to put oneself at the service of the needs of others, becomes a privileged setting for formation and accompaniment, which will introduce into the social circuit men and women capable of having a new vision of the world and of acting to improve it. 29. A 360 dialogue. Let me learn from you your way of thinking, your language, and your questions, your being there, so that I can learn in a new way that message which I have the task of delivering to you. Klaus Hemmerle. We believe that dialogue is in the DNA of every member of the movement. We do not find our identity by looking at ourselves but by being open to the challenges of the world and of history, open to dialogue with all others and to the needs and sorrows of humanity. The 5 dialogues provide concrete ways to respond to the cries of humanity in the division and polarization we experience today. As apostles and witnesses of dialogue, we all want to be trained to acquire this way of life so that it is not just the work of a few specialists. To this end, we commit ourselves to promoting schools of formation, to fostering more synergetic work between the 5 dialogues, to creating more open and inclusive spaces for dialogue and encounter in the coming 6-year term. Conclusion. 30 several times in this document it says, "This is our way of life," with statements that may seem partial and lead us to ask the question, but what then is really our way of life? Now we discover that, without realizing it, we have set it out according to the 7 colors. Our way of life is preferential love for the excluded, it is our dialoguing DNA, it is the commitment to living the word, it is the desire for ecological conversion, it is listening attentively to diversity in order to bring it together in unity, it is the drive to deepen our knowledge and formation, it is the conviction that it is worth doing all we can to be more and more networked, more and more united. 31 Finally, we would like to return to another dream confided by Kiara on the occasion of her trip to Fontum, Cameroon in May 2000. Those present still remember her emotion in expressing it, an emotion she showed only rarely. "And what is my last wish now, and for now? I would like the work of Mary, at the end of time, when it will be united and waiting to appear before the forsaken and risen Jesus, to say to him, making its own the words that always move me from the Belgian theologian Jacques Leclerc, 'On your day, my God, I will come to you. I will come to you, my God, and with my wildest dream, to bring you the world in my arms. Father, may they all be one.' This brings us back to the reality that lies before us and is approaching, and to which we want to respond with the whole of ourselves and with the concreteness necessary in response to the cries of humanity. Note 1. Procedure, methodology, and work experience. 32 The Ordinary General Assembly 2021 of the Work of Mary, the Focolare movement, was experienced in an extraordinary way, both in reference to the crisis faced by the human family today, a crisis made more evident by the pandemic, and in reference to the way it was conducted online. We were summoned to respond to an appeal. What does God want for the movement in the coming years? What must not be missing so that the charism may be more and more a gift for the churches and for humanity? This question was the impetus for a wide-ranging participatory process that began in December 2019. More than 3,000 proposals were sent in from all over the world and then grouped into 16 subjects. At a later stage, 6 were selected through an online poll. Following more than 10,000 responses and careful evaluation, 4 subjects were finally identified to be studied in depth during this assembly: the charism of unity, the new generations, the environment, and the pandemic, and the spheres in which the charism itself is lived out concretely. The assembly then proposed 3 other topics: family, governance, and options for the excluded. During the assembly we devoted 3 days to work on these using the open space technology method and tables of trust. These were unique and precious moments of dialogue and frankness among all participants, which was the foundation of the synodality that characterized the experience of the whole assembly. An international editorial committee has tried to bring together the hundreds of pages of input to prepare this first navigation map that is addressed to all those who belong to the movement. This document has been approved by the General Assembly of the Work of Mary and is to be made available to all those who belong to the movement worldwide. All the material collected during this process, which lasted more than a year, have been handed over to the new governance of the movement.